Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmed Tanveer, and I would be delivering the videos to help the students to prepare for the further mathematics examination uh, from 2020 uh, onwards. Now, for your information, the further math syllabus have changed significantly over the years, and it would be undergoing a significant change from 2020. So now from 2020 onwards, there would be four papers: further pure 1, further pure 2, further mechanics, and further stats. Previously, it used to be the case that we would have to give paper 1 and paper 3 in a single examination series. Paper 1 would include further pure 1, further pure, the whole of the further pure content, and sorry, it's paper 2. And paper 2 included all of the further mechanics uh, and further stats content. Now it is divided into the period of 2 years. Now, in order to make it clear, the person would have to study the further math pure course altogether and give the paper in a simultaneous examination series. Now the person would be able to study contents over 2 years. The content is divided into 2 years. In the first year, the person have to study FP1 and either of further mechanics and further statistics. In the second year, the person would have to study FP2 and the remaining of these two. So in AS level, the person have to study further pure 1 and either of further mechanics or statistics further statistics. In A levels or in A2 level, to make it clear, he would have to study further pure 2 and the remaining of those two papers. If you have given further mechanics in year 1, you would have to give further stats in year 2, and if you have given further stats in year 1, you would have to study further mechanics in year 2. Now, how this would facilitate the students? The main thing it aids is that it could be given with along with mathematics. The mathematics is also over the staged assessment, and the further mathematics is also over the staged assessment. So the person can study maths along with the further maths comfortably and along a sequence. Previously, many schools held the concept that in the first year Excel maths have to be given, and in the second year further maths have to be given. That increased the pressure on the students altogether, and they would have to just put in their entire efforts in further math in Excel maths in the first year and the further maths in the second year, and could not give complete focus on the other subjects. This would aid the students to divide their focus on other subjects as well. The second benefit it aids is that the person can also go with the AS level degree alone. If the person is not intending to study further maths at a higher level, he can also go with pursuing only the AS level degree, and the AS level degree would have its own value altogether. Now another change the CAI had observed in the syllabus is that the choice in the last question is eliminated. It used to be question 10 to 12. It should be the last question, and there used to be an either or section. You had to attempt any one question, but in 2020 it would be cancelled. You would have to attempt all the questions. The second change is that further PO would account for 60% of the total marks. Out of that, 30% would be for FP1 and 30% would be for FP2. And further mechanics would have 20% weightage, and further stats would have 20% weightage. So in AS level, you would be studying further pure 1 and either of further mechanics or further stats. So that would account for 50% of the weightage. And in A2 level, using this very simple formula, it would also account for 50% weightage. So now, summarizing what I said is that the further pure content that used to be in paper 1 is spread over the duration of 2 years or 2 examination series, and the whole content of further mechanics and further stats that used to be in a complete paper 2 have been divided into 2 separate papers. And the second change is that the further paper could be given in 2 separate examination series. It can also be given as accelerated, but it's altogether on the choice of the students on how to give their further maths paper. So the students would have a wide choice as to how to manage the subjects they study over the period of 2 years. So summarizing, in AS level, I would now be cutting it short, and in A2 level, if you are studying further pure 1 in AS level and further mechanics as well in AS level, you would have to study further pure 2 and further statistics in the A2 level. Now in FP, if you're studying FP1 and FS in AS level, you have to take FP1 and you are selecting further statistics in AS level. So you have to give further mechanics in A2 level and further pure 2 in A2 level as well. So that's the short summary of how to give the further maths paper. Now it would be entirely upon the choice of students that how would they select their choices in their AS level or A2 level. Now it is eminent to note that further PO would also require some prior knowledge of P3 content. So now the teachers should wisely think of that how to cover that content while studying with further pure 1. And since further mechanics would only require M1 content, and all the M2 content have been included in further mechanics content. Now the further mechanics content only comprises of M2 content along with another chapters that is called momentum and some more in-depth approach of the circular motion. Otherwise, the further mechanics only comprises of M2 content. All the previous chapters have been deleted in the 2020 syllabus. Now further mechanics only comprises of M2 content except for one chapter, that is momentum, and some other subjects of N2 are being studied in more depth. Further stats as usual would require S1 and S2 content in the background. So I hope that this video helped and would help the students on in making a wise choice on how to plan their study over the 2 years and what the changes have CAIE observed in further mathematics over the 2 years from 2020 onwards. Thank you very much.